Alright, so I'm making this video, so...
There's a slowdown on I-880 North near Hayward that is causing a 13-minute delay. You are on the fastest route. You will arrive at 4:36 p.m.
Okay, excuse you, Siri. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm making a video to show how to take care of the fish tank. So, as you can see, there's the gourami. Big personality. He'll look at you and he's very curious. And then I have 2 mollies. Here's one minnow. And there's 2 silver minnows as well. So, there's also 3 snails. One of them is right here. But one of the most important things when taking care of the fish tank is making sure absolutely that the water line does not go below the heater. The water has been evaporating at a pretty quick rate because of how hot it is in the summer, and yeah, just make sure the water line doesn't go below the heater so that the heater doesn't break. So as you can see, I need to add this much water to bring the water levels back up. Another thing that you need to make sure of is feeding them. So I like to feed them manually by pressing this button, and you'll see the food goes down. And that's just about a ton of food, enough for them for the whole day. So you just feed them once a day. Sometimes not a lot of food comes out, so I have to press the button twice. But yeah, I like to feed them manually just because I like to, look at my fish, check on the whole system, make sure everything's going well. But you can also set it to feed automatically, and the way that you do that is you click the set button, or you hold it, and then you just keep clicking it. That allows you to adjust the time, and then it will start blinking on the first slot. So you can choose up to 4 settings of 4 feedings a day to be automated. I usually only use 1, and you can use the up arrow to change the time that you want the feeding to happen at. So that would be 1:30 p.m. And then you click set when you're happy with the settings, and then when it goes to the box, you can choose how many times you want the feeder to roll around. So I usually do 1. I personally think that's going to be way overfeeding the fish. And then if you want to take off the automated feeding setting, you just make that box blink, and then it allows you to set it for all 4 boxes, and here you just have to click through them. And that's it. This is the battery level, but honestly, I've had it for about a year, so you're probably not going to have to worry about that. Alright, and then above here, you just have to worry about this little system right here. This is where the water gets pumped out into the grow bed, and the clay balls in here, the only purpose that they serve really is to allow bacteria to grow on there, and bacteria that grows on there basically converts the ammonia from the fish poop to nitrite. Nitrite is toxic, but then there's also bacteria that converts the nitrite to nitrate, and nitrate is what is really good for the plants. So yeah, this allows you to basically grow your plants and reuse the toxins that the fish generate. So it's a closed loop system. Be careful, sometimes there's hornets around here, but I think as long as you don't disturb them, they don't really do anything. Just be careful. But yeah, make sure the water is flowing nicely. Sometimes a lot of dirt and algae algae and poop can get stuck in this tube. So what I like to do is just pinch it to try to get dirty stuff out, but I recently cleaned it, so you probably won't have to worry about that. And then if the sponge is getting real dirty, you can just bring it over there and give it a quick rinse just to get rid of that, but it doesn't affect the tank too much. Only if it's like really disgusting, then I would recommend doing that. But yeah, so the water drains here. Just make sure that, you know, the siphon is sitting flat. I actually don't know why it's not going all the way through. It's supposed to come out all at once, and then it drains the whole bed. I'm not exactly sure why it's not going all the way, but sometimes you can give it a little shake, and that helps it. Yeah, so you can see now it's going at full force. That's exactly what we want. And then it stops pouring out. Yeah, when you hear that burp that we just heard right now, that's when the air reaches the holes at the bottom of the siphon here, and that's how you know that the flow cycle has ended for that period. And right now I'm just gonna use this right here to fill it up with water and pour it in the grow bed to fill the water levels back up. So I just pour it in here because it's a lot easier for me, but you can also pour it in the fish tank if you like. Technically there's holes here, so you can technically pour it through here if you really want, but I find it's just easier to do it through there. Otherwise you're just kind of making a mess. So this amount of space usually requires about, I think, 4 of these. This looks about like 2 gallons. The whole tank is 10 gallons, and this is a half gallon, so you do the math. Oh, I think this will be the last one for sure. As you can see, the water level is pretty much all the way to the brim. Honestly, these hornets really scare me, but I've kind of gone more used to them just because they're always here, and I've had to, you know, deal with them being around. So yeah, that's definitely enough water. It's almost to the top. You could even put a little bit more, but I'm accounting for the water that's in here, because that's definitely gonna fill it up to the top. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can also check the temperature of the water if you'd like. The thermometer is like all the way in the back. You'd have to reach for it with your hand. Make sure it's always around like high 70s, low 80s degrees. If I go ahead and pull it out, it reads 80 degrees, and that's perfect. If it gets any colder, like if it goes below 70s, that's kind of dangerous for the gourami here, because it's a tropical fish. The other fish can survive, but definitely make sure the heater doesn't break, especially in the winter at nighttime. That's how my other gourami died. But yeah, you can check to make sure that the heater is working if you just like put your hand around it. It's hot, so be careful, don't just grab it. But usually there's a red light that turns on at the top of the heater, so you know that it's on, so check for that at nighttime. These are plugs for the water pump and the heater. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know. As you can see, the water level is all the way at the top, and yep, everything drained, so it's looking good.